There's a lot of people who do things these days like 75 hard, just something to give them a challenge for like months at a time.
Yep.
When you go through SEAL training, obviously it's bringing out a lot of those dormant attributes, the things about yourself that you don't know are actually very valuable assets, and how resilient and adaptable you might be. Do you think people should figure out their own version of something like that so they can start to unearth some of those attributes rather than just trying to focus so much on staying in their comfort zone?
I totally think that. And I love the 75 hard. I know Andy Frizella, who runs that, and I love that program because it really allows someone to get uncomfortable in a series of disciplines. And I think that's absolutely essential for people to begin to grow. You have to step out of our comfort zone. Listen, growth is uncomfortable. You can't grow without being comfortable. It's a prerequisite. And so anything that allows you discomfort is going to help you grow, regardless of what it is. And so I would always encourage someone to look at those things that make you uncomfortable and practice that. In fact, it's funny you should say that. I was just talking to a young man who's in college right now. He's an ROTC, a Navy ROTC, and he wants to be a SEAL. He's an aspiring SEAL. And he asked me, "Hey, what can I do to prepare?" And it's an interesting question because, you know, in SEAL training and BUD/S, you're going to get really cold. You're going to have to run with logs and everything. Cold is usually the worst. Cold is what gets most people. And so a lot of aspiring BUD/S candidates, and maybe even folks who think who are past their prime and they wish they could have been SEALs, they wonder if they could do it, will expose themselves to cold over and over again to see, well, maybe I get used to the cold. You'll never get used to the cold. And one of my buddies says it's like practicing getting kicked in the balls. So you're gonna get kicked in the balls anyway. You might as well not practice it, right? But what I did tell him was, hey, practice doing things that are uncomfortable. And that it could be anything. It could be that girl you've wanted to talk to and you've been nervous. Go up and talk to her, right? That's you're stepping into uncomfort, to discomfort. You're stepping into to challenge. And I think those are, anytime you can pick something to do, you're going to exercise that muscle. But then there's one more factor, and the other factor is uncertainty, because there are certain disciplines of discomfort that aren't uncertain. And I would place a lot of physical disciplines in this category. I mean, going to the gym, it's going to be uncomfortable, it's going to be challenging, but there's something certain about that, right? The more environments of uncertainty you can find yourself in and navigating through, that's some real training as well, because navigating through uncertainty is a whole nother level of being able to step into challenge, stress, and fear, because that's when the fear comes, the stress comes in. So not very scary going to the gym, depending. I certainly say if you're just starting, it could be, right? But if there's fear involved, you've added a whole nother level to that challenge. And I think that's very, very healthy.